You know that feeling when a swordsman casually humiliates their opponent mid-fight and makes it look like art? Yeah, we're here for that. This is a tribute to the flashiest, coldest, and most absurdly confident swordplay in anime. No repeated anime, no boring slashes, just legendary flexes that made us hit pause and say, nah, run that back.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
動かねえ。何をしやがってんだ。見切った奴らいねえこの技を。こんなバカなことがあるか。そんなわけねえよ。いくらなんでもこんなに遠いわけねえ。
Dracul Mihawk strolls into One Piece and immediately reminds everyone why he's called the world's strongest swordsman. When Zoro challenges him, Mihawk doesn't even bother unsheathing his legendary black blade. Instead, he pulls out a tiny dagger, which is basically a butter knife, to duel Zoro's 3 swords. With a calm smile, Mihawk parries every desperate attack Zoro throws at him. It's a total mismatch. Mihawk barely tries and still pierces Zoro's chest with that little dagger, dropping him in one slick move. He finally draws his real sword, only to deliver the final blow out of respect, and even then, Zoro is completely overwhelmed. I mean, who brings a knife to a sword fight and wins? Mihawk basically went, "You're not worth my sword," and proved it. Talk about disrespectful power flex. Poor Zoro never stood a chance against that level of casual confidence. When Sasuke's elite Daka squad attacks, B decides to freestyle, literally. He whips out 7 swords at once, clutching them in hands, elbows, and even his armpit. What follows is a one-man sword storm. B spins and slices in unpredictable rhythms, toying with Sasuke and his crew. Killer B was literally breakdancing with swords, and Sasuke got served. The dude turned a serious battle into his own rap music video. If flexing is an art, B painted a masterpiece here, leaving one of Naruto's toughest pretty much speechless and full of holes. Leave it to Bleach's Genpachi Zaraki to show off in the most extra way possible. This battle-crazed captain lives for a good fight. He even handicaps himself with an eye patch just to give enemies a chance. But when a powerful foe in the 1000-year Blood War drops a giant meteor onto the battlefield, Genpachi decides it's time to flex for real. With a wild grin, he leaps up and swings his sword with 2 hands. A rare serious move for him, by the way. In one colossal strike, Genpachi shatters the flaming meteorite to rubble mid-air, saving everyone below. Did he just cut a meteor in half? Yes. Yes, he did. Genpachi basically said, sorry, your big scary attack is now pebble-sized. Ultimate overkill flex achieved.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!
Afro Samurai is all about style, and Afro's got plenty to spare. In a futuristic samurai world, Afro faces machine gun wielding androids and RPGs like it's just another Tuesday. One insane flex moment, Afro finds himself staring down a launched rocket. Instead of running, he dashes straight at it. With one precise swing, Afro slices the missile in two mid-flight. The rocket explodes in a halo of fire, and while Afro isn't completely unscathed, he still swaggers out of the smoke alive. Talk about cutting it close. Throughout the series, Afro casually cuts bullets and even other swords in half, hardly breaking a sweat as enemies gape at the speed. He's so fast he can drop a speeding rocket like he's slicing pizza. The confidence to charge a missile head-on? That's a flex that says, your weapons mean nothing to me.
Nothing.
Sword Art Online gave us a flex for the ages when Kirito revealed he had a rare dual-wield skill. During the deadly battle against the gleaming blue Gleam Eyes boss on floor 74, things look grim for the players. Then Kirito steps up and whips out a second sword. With a burst of speed, he launches into Starburst Stream, a dual sword combo that hits so fast the boss can't react. The moment those two swords appeared, you just knew something epic was about to happen. Kirito basically said, time to break the game, and proceeded to solo raid a boss in seconds. It was a jaw-dropper for the characters in-game and for us watching at home. Talk about main character energy. Kirito flexed so hard that he left an entire raid party slack-jawed. Sesshomaru from Inuyasha is the definition of an effortlessly OP swordsman. Always cool and composed, he gets his ultimate flex moment after acquiring the sword Bakusaiga. When a horde of hundreds of demons swarm towards him, Sesshomaru decides he's had enough of these minor nuisances. With a single fluid motion, he draws Bakusaiga and slashes through the air, unleashing a devastating wave of yokai energy. In the blink of an eye, the entire demon army is cut down and dissolves into dust, their regenerative abilities completely negated by Bakusaiga's power. Standing amid the faded miasma, Sesshomaru doesn't even look ruffled. His enemies, though, 100% obliterated. The guy basically performed a one-man genocide with a casual swing of his sword. No battle, no struggle, just whoosh. Bow down to Lord Sesshomaru's insane prowess. Just don't expect him to acknowledge you. In the Fate franchise, Saber is a knight whose noble phantasm is literally the stuff of legends. The flex moment to remember? Fate Zero, when Saber faces down the enormous demonic monster summoned by Caster. As the other heroes hold the line, Saber powers up her invisible sword, revealing it to be the one and only Excalibur. In a whirlwind of golden light, she channels all her mana and unleashes Excalibur's ultimate blast. A colossal beam of holy energy erupts, annihilating Caster's giant monster in a single strike, and even parting the clouds over the city. One swing, and that abomination was dust. Even other servants who aren't easily impressed were like, whoa. Excalibur isn't subtle, but hey, sometimes you just gotta go big or go home. Saber went big and it was glorious.
間違いない。この光はジャンヌと共に歓喜の祝福を得た輝き。行くぞ。無限鳥。
In Soul Eater, there's a samurai bodyguard named Mifune who doesn't need fancy powers, just a lot of swords and mad skill. Blackstar, an upstart ninja assassin student, first confronts him. He's cocky until Mifune decides to teach him a lesson. Mifune draws a circle of numerous swords around himself, his infinite one-sword style. With perfect precision, he weaves between blades, picking them up and striking in a continuous flow. Blackstar, despite his tricks, finds himself completely outclassed. Mifune disarms and defeats him without ever killing. Mifune made the fight look effortless. He was basically juggling swords and schooling Blackstar at the same time. The flex wasn't about brute force, it was how skilled and composed he was. He even spared Blackstar out of mercy, which is like the ultimate I'm so much better than you and I don't need to finish you off move. Humbling a hot-headed ninja with style, that's a samurai flex if you've ever seen one. Gintoki usually comes off as a lazy, sweets-obsessed goofball in Gintama, but people forget he earned the name Shiroyasha for being a demon on the battlefield. One flex-tastic example. During the Benizakura arc, Gintoki faces Nizo, who's empowered by a bloodthirsty alien sword. Initially beaten to a pulp, Gintoki returns with a newly forged sword and a serious attitude. In their rematch, Gintoki unleashes his full samurai speed, slicing through Nizo's barrage of attacks. At one point, Gintoki cuts straight through a massive metal tendril and Nizo in one strike, shattering the evil sword Benizakura. It's always the funny guys that surprise you. Gintoki went from clown to killer in 0.2 seconds, reminding everyone why he survived the war. Breaking an unbreakable sword and its wielder at the same time is a total boss move. In Berserk, Guts doesn't need magic or tricks, just a really big sword and sheer willpower. Lost from his unit, Guts finds himself surrounded by 100 mercenaries in the dead of the night. Does he flee? No. He plants his feet, grips his massive Dragon Slayer sword, and takes them all on. What follows is a bloody marathon of skill and stamina. Guts cleaves through soldier after soldier, blades breaking on his armor as he endures wounds that would fell normal men. By dawn, an exhausted Guts stands atop a pile of 100 defeated enemies, sword still in hand. It's an almost inhuman feat of strength and determination. This wasn't a flashy anime power-up, it was just raw grit. Demon Slayer built up Rui, the lower rank 5 demon, as a terrifying foe until Giyu Tomioka, the water Hashira, arrived. After Tanjiro's desperate struggle against Rui, Giyu steps in with an aura of absolute calm. Rui spits out threads to slice him up, but Giyu isn't even phased. He breathes in and executes water-breathing 11th form Dead Calm. In an instant, everything goes silent. Giyu's blade glides so fast and smoothly that Rui never even sees the strike. One moment he's attacking, the next he's already defeated, head cleanly taken off before he can blink. Let's be real, Giyu showed up and basically said, "Alright kids, playtime's over." The flex here is the effortlessness. Tanjiro was given his all, and Giyu one-shot decapitates the foe without even breaking a sweat. He made a Hashira level kill look like a casual chore. If that's not flexing your seniority and skill, then don't know what is. Our dude turned a horror scene into just another day in the office. In Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, King Bradley is the seemingly amiable Führer until he unsheaths his sword. When the capital falls into chaos, Bradley returns to Central like an unstoppable force. At one point, he literally charges a fortified compound alone. The military throws everything at him: guns, snipers, even a tank. Bradley dashes through gunfire faster than the eye, cutting down soldiers left and right. In the most power-dropping moment, a tank fires a shell straight at him. Bradley leaps, swords out, and slices the shelf in half mid-air, causing it to explode harmlessly behind him. It's terrifying, but you can't deny it. Wrath went full one-man army. Guns, useless. Armored tank, turned into scrap. The flex factor is off the charts. Bradley made trained soldiers look like fodder in a hack-and-slash video game. Rule of thumb, don't ever underestimate an anime old guy, especially not one with an eye patch and a saber. Dragon Ball Z fans will never forget the entrance of future Trunks. Picture it. The galactic tyrant Frieza, recently rebuilt with cybernetic parts, arrives on Earth seeking revenge, still seemingly unstoppable. The Z fighters are bracing for disaster, and then a mysterious teen with purple hair and a sword shows up. In one of the biggest flexes ever, Trunks goes Super Saiyan, surprising everyone, and takes on Frieza solo. Frieza fires a death beam, Trunks casually deflects it. Then, faster than anyone can blink, Trunks uses his sword to cut Frieza into deli slices, literally chopping the villain into pieces with a flurry of slashes. Talk about making an entrance. Trunks showed up and basically speed round the boss fight that took our heroes an entire saga. The flex was unreal. He barely introduced himself and he'd already taken out the baddest villain around like it was just nothing. For the onlooking characters, it was the ultimate whoa moment. Trunks didn't just flex his power, he flexed an attitude, casually asking if anyone else wanted some after carving up Frieza. Whew, iconic.
No!
Akame is normally reserved and efficient, but when it's time to protect her friends, her true power comes out. In the final battle against the fearsome General Esdeath, Akame goes head-to-head with the Ice Queen in a deadly dance. Outmatched by Esdeath's overwhelming ice powers at first, Akame decides to unleash her trump card. She poisons herself with her own blade to enter a berserk state, trading pain for power. With blood, red eyes, and lightning speed, Akame dashes through Esdeath's time-freezing maneuver, surprising even Esdeath, and delivers a single, fatal slash across Esdeath's torso. The strike is imbued with Murasame's curse, meaning instant death. Even Esdeath, who'd been flexing her own OP powers all fight, got completely caught off guard by Akame's speed. It's the quiet ones you gotta watch, isn't it? Akame went full force and ended things in a flash. The sheer conviction to stab herself to win shows she's not just flexing power, she's flexing resolve. Goosebumps, anyone? Has your favourite swordsman made the cut? If not, look, don't worry, we've got some more entries coming up very soon. But before that, I'd truly appreciate it if you could give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you. In Katanagatari, Shichika Yasuri is a swordsman who uses no sword because he is the sword.
もう手加減の必要はなくなったからな。
これは巨頭流の技としては名前がない。つまりあんたの居合はそれほどに取るに足らないということだ。俺が明細のことが苦手だったのはあいつの性格が苦手だったからだよ。
Trained in the Kyoto-Ryu style, Shichiga's bare-handed sword technique is so lethal that by the series end, he faces down an entire army. In the climactic finale, hundreds of armed warriors encircle Shichiga. Instead of surrendering, he channels everything he's learned. What follows is a beautifully animated storm of destruction. Shichiga blitzes through the crowd, disarming and incapacitating dozens with each motion. We always hear that phrase, "I am the sword," but Shichiga made it literal. The dude turned into a whirlwind of martial mayhem, and an entire army learned they brought knives to, well, not even a fist fight, more like a Shichiga fight. It's a flex because it wasn't luck or magic, just pure skill and strength honed to absolute peak. Remind me not to get on this guy's bad side, you know? He doesn't even need a weapon to make you regret your life decisions.
Shichiga Jutsu!
In Claymore, Teresa of the Faint Smile is revered as the #1 warrior, and the way she flexes her power is by never looking like she's trying. When a group of top 4 ranking claymores is sent to execute Teresa for treason, we witness perhaps the greatest flex. The 4 surround her, each unleashing their special moves in a coordinated assault. Teresa, however, evades and parries all their attacks with ease, maintaining her trademark calm smile. One by one, the would-be executioners fall in defeat. Teresa basically gives a masterclass in Know Your Place. She was surrounded by elite warriors and made them look like trainees swinging sticks, and she did it gently, relatively speaking, only lethal when she had to be. That serene smile while disarming, literally, her foes, that's some cold confidence, isn't it? She didn't need rage or bluster. Teresa flexed by showing absolute control. If I saw that smile after I threw my best attack, I'd probably just quit on the spot. In the satirical world of One Punch Man, heroes love to show off, and Atomic Samurai knows how to leave an impression.
みんな、お前ほどバカじゃねえってよ。行くぞ。まず潰すは怪人協会だ。
This S-class hero prides himself on cutting foes faster than they can blink. During the Monster Association raid, Atomic Samurai faces a monster boasting about its tough hide. In a split second, Atomic Samurai slices the creature into deli-thin pieces. His sword slashes so rapidly that the monster doesn't realize it's been cut. Atomic Samurai is basically the embodiment of blink and you're dead. The guy names his attacks Atomic Slash for a reason, you know. You just see a flash, then chop sashimi. And the toothpick story? Ultimate flex legend status. He's that confident in his skill. I love how the monsters always get that confused look like, he missed, and then shing, they fall to pieces. Note to self, if a samurai ever starts bragging he doesn't even need a real sword to cut you, I'd suggest you just run. Meliodas, the dragon sin of wrath from the 7 deadly sins, might look like a cheery young lad, but he's packing centuries of experience and power, and he knows how to flex it.
Yes, やはり生きていたか、七つの大罪。
One early jaw-dropper comes when Holy Knight Guild Thunder hurls a gigantic lightning spear across kingdoms to kill Meliodas. This spear crashes into the ground at Meliodas' feet with insane force. Meliodas, totally chill. He lifts the massive spear one-handed, spins around and throws it back, even faster. The spear rockets back along its path, plowing through mountains on the way and nearly skewers Guild Thunder back at the origin point. Now, not gonna lie, Meliodas yeeting that spear back was a mwah flex moment. Imagine trying to smite someone and they literally say, return to sender. The dude didn't just survive the ambush, he turned it into an Uno reverse card of pain. The fact that he was grinning the whole time, treating a mountain-busting attack like a minor inconvenience, just shows how confident he is. Meliodas basically told Guild Thunder, cute trick, now here's mine. Nanashi, a nameless ronin with a haunting past who typically holds back his true skills, but when a clan of vicious Ming warriors threatens the young boy he's protecting, Nanashi decides to let loose. In the climactic confrontation at the fortress, a horde of skilled fighters stands between Nanashi and the boy. Nanashi draws his longsword, which he'd kept tied precisely to restrain himself, and the moment that knot comes off, you know there's something epic about to happen. He plunges into the crowd of swordsmen, and suddenly it's limbs and weapons flying everywhere. It's a standout flex because he goes from stoic drifter to absolute whirlwind of death. The choreography had us all going, wow, and you can bet those Ming swordsmen were regretting their life choices in their final moments. Lesson: never push the quiet, kind swordsman over the edge, because if you do, you might just solo your entire squad. Levi Ackerman, our human Beyblade from Attack on Titan, is in a league of his own. Need proof? Watch Levi take on the dreaded Beast Titan.
こいつがリヴァイか。なんだ、何も見えない。目をやられたのか。足が。
As the Beast Titan lobs boulders and devastates the Survey Corps, Levi zips in with a thunderous resolve and a little help from some decoys. What follows is a blur of blades. Levi spirals up the Beast Titan's arm using ODM gear, cutting tendons so fast the 17-meter monster can't even defend. In seconds, Levi is on his shoulder, stabbing and slashing its nape repeatedly with his twin swords. This wasn't just a flex, it was a demolition. Levi turned the Beast Titan into a practice dummy, and he did it with such surgical fury that even we felt a little bit sorry for the hairy ape. Well, almost. The Beast Titan's face when it realized, oh no, I messed with the wrong human, says it all. Levi's like a tornado with blades. Blink and you're in pieces. You ever seen an anime character who looks like they should be napping in a park and then they casually dismantle a top tier assassin like they're swatting a fly? Well, that's Takamura. This dude strolls in looking like he's about to offer you candy, and in 2 seconds flat, boom, he's a walking massacre. Gaku swings at him full force and Takamura just blocks it with the sheath. Yes, the sheath. Then, when he does draw the blade, he splits the floor, cuts Gaku's weapon clean in half. No wasted motion, no fancy speeches, just pure surgical dominance. The best part, he's doing all of this with the face of someone wondering if the tea's still warm. The animation pops off with every slash feeling like a war crime in 4K. Even Slur, the big bad, nopes out when Takamura shows up. It's not just a flex, it's a masterclass in stealing the show with zero chill. Gojiro Sasaki, history's most famed loser swordsman, steps up for mankind. He faces Poseidon, the arrogant Greek sea god who's never been challenged. At first, Poseidon dominates with godly speed, while Gojiro analyzes every feint and strike in his mind. Here comes the flex then, okay? Gojiro, after taking some cuts, achieves a state of perfect clarity, having simulated countless battles in his head. When Poseidon lunges with his ultimate flurry, which is literally hundreds of thrusts in a blink, Gojiro smirks. He can read every move. In an instant, Gojiro unleashes a counter-attack, his own sword style, Tsubame Geishi, slicing Poseidon's chest. This was the ultimate underdog flex. Gojiro took all his failures and turned them into a perfect victory. The way he read Poseidon like a book and then literally cut a deity to ribbons, I mean, I had goosebumps. Even the gods watching were like, did that just happen? Nothing screams confidence like politely thanking your opponent after defeating them when nobody believed you could. Man, anime swordsmen really don't know how to chill, do they? From cutting space to soloing armies like it's nothing, these moments were built differently. Drop your favorite flex in the comments and hit that like if you felt the hype. Catch you in the next one.